Yay!
Okay, hello everyone. Hey Isaac, oh my god, I miss saying that. I miss
What's
saying
What's
that.
up?
up? What's
How
up?
are you feeling?
Excellent.
Excellent.
Amazing. Virtual conferences are so hard because like the suspense is killing. You go like, hey, hi Isaac, and then you wait, and it's like, what's up, what's up? I don't know, man.
I think everyone is also unsure if they should say what's up or if they should write what's up. But yeah.
Okay, amazing guys. So our session for today is closing contracts, and I think this is like very important for a lot of us, especially in this phase that we are in. Right, we are a lot of us are in the process of probably closing our deals from the first quarter. All of the companies you started tracking down since August, and right now it's at the peak, and I think we all need a bit of information, a bit of inspiration is the word because I think information is we already have that on what we can do better and what we can improve on what to focus on in closing contracts. So now that we went through negotiations, right, I think we're better equipped to ace our negotiation process and be able to keep open conversations, basically like really negotiate. But how do we move our prospects, our clients, from the negotiation phase to actually closing the deal? All right. And I think I just want to set some expectations here. Like closing contracts can be positive and negative. Sadly, you can actually close off the deal with a no. I think it's always best to wrap up than to have an entire conversation you've been selling for 1 year without any response. Like it doesn't make any sense. So at one point of the conversation, you need to actively move the prospect from negotiating to closing the deal, um, whatever decision you may be. So here's our agenda. We talk about decision timeline, which is like the most important ingredient in closing contracts, and then we talk about effective presentation structure. So here it's like our proposals or presentation style. How can they serve as instrument to help us make better closing deals or help us close our deals faster or more efficiently? And then we're going to have some action space or some yeah action space where we will evaluate. I think in the newsletter we were asked to prepare our last proposal sent or something like that. So we will be evaluating our proposals peer to peer and giving feedbacks based on the information we've gotten and what we can improve on, or what were the high points or the low points. And lastly, we'll talk about post sales techniques. So you've sold, what next? Slide. Okay, so yeah, Vicky Ninja Jollof. For those of you who've not heard what jollof is, it's a kind of food, right? It is made from rice, and there is this low key international debate about which country makes the best jollof, either Nigeria or Ghana. And I'm Nigeria all the time, anyways. But just by the way, that's just for fun. So you can go slide. Great. So before we get dive right into it, this is familiar to some of us. If you were like maybe in the BD sales commission call, or you probably I think there is the document as well. This is familiar to some of us, and it's really important for us to see like what's some of the roadblocks that stop us as salespeople to close negotiation. I think the very first one is that we don't have control in the sales process, and this is very important. Sometimes it can go two ways. If you have an inbound lead, it seems as if, oh, they're the ones that want something from you. But at the end of the day, right, you have to find a way to take charge of the process if they're coming to buy your product and not you buying their product, because it's your sales. So whether or not it's inbound or outbound, you reached out or they reached out, you need to take control. And what does it mean to take control of the process? It means that you need to be in the active frame of mind to move the prospect from one stage of the sales funnel to the next. All right, from prospecting to negotiating to first contact, doing your follow-up meetings and all that. It needs to be a conscious decision for you. So that's how you take control. And then of course in the conversations, in maneuvering them and everything that we learned around negotiation. The second thing is that the proposal we have doesn't answer to the partner's pain or the budget available. And you may have a great proposal, it may answer to the pain, but maybe they don't have the budget for it, right? Or they may have the budget, but it doesn't really answer to the pain. And then the third one says that you as a salesperson, you don't have all the information regarding the decision making. So These three things are in your control. It means that we can do something about them. We can do something about having control in the sales process, understanding the partner's pain and their budget. I think somewhere along the line, right, be the academy, we talked about banks, budgets, authority need, and timeline. So there are ways we can do all of these things, and there are ways we can get more information. So these are in your control. Let's focus on changing this. So slide. I think there are some that are not in our control, anyways. Um, and yeah, circumstances might have changed, and the salesperson might have changed. Probably you reached out in August and you guys delayed and maybe your follow-up meeting or your closing is somewhere in September and no somewhere in October for example, and something may have changed. That happened to me with a company. They had an internal restructuring, and whereas I thought it was a great sale at the beginning, suddenly turned out, oh, they had an internal restructuring, and along the and I didn't know about that, and it affected the sales. Not really my fault, but yeah, it can affect closing the negotiation. And then salesperson was giving inaccurate information. The prospect has been less than honest with the salesperson. I think these two some of sub-align. So these are some of the things that can close negotiation. And why am I sharing this? The reason is so that we are aware of it and we can actively work towards, preventing the worst we can prevent, and at least staying alert and staying sharp about the ones that we cannot do anything about. Like, okay, amazing. So now we're talking about decision making timeline. What should our decision making timeline really include? Or what should they do for us? The first thing that it should do is that they should qualify the prospect and the opportunity. What this means is, I think some of us talked about, I think last, was it yesterday or the day before, we talked about prospect and not everyone being a lead. So your timeline should be able to help you decide who exactly is a prospect and who exactly is a lead, or who exactly is a customer based on the timeline. Your timeline should be able to do this to you, do this for you rather, as well as the opportunity. The other thing is that it should help you define the decision making process. So your process can be like, would it take them 1 month? Would it take them, or would it take both of you 1 month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 months to decide based on your product, based on the customer, based on the collaboration you guys want to put? You need to be able to know this from the timeline. Would it help you set better? It should help you set better upfront contracts. So we already know about upfront contracts and how this is supposed to help us in terms of setting expectations clear with the customer or with the prospect of the client. So your timeline should help you have this thing better, so that in your upfront contract. 1 minute, I think there's a lot of noise here. Apologies. So that they should your timeline should really help you set better upfront contract in terms of, oh, you can already let the prospect know in a way that we will be closing this, or we go through this process in the next 1 month or two, because we are currently preparing for our operations peak, or some relevant context, so that they have some sort of clarity in their mind within, or 1 month or 3 weeks, based on the product you're selling and based on the timeline as well for the customer. And then it should help you deal with stalls and obstacles upfront. That's what your timeline should do. So if they already say, oh, August would not be a really good time for me, you want to know why, you're already starting to tackle with some of the objections they may come up with. And then it should also tell you how your prospect wants to be sold and improve communication, basically. So this statement sort of sums up everything. It says the decision timeline allows us to figure out where we are in the process and what has to be done, which is the most important thing, to move the sale forward. It might also help create a sense of urgency in your prospects as they discover what is involved in the buying and implementation process. So take note of where we are in the process, because sometimes you don't really know, are you negotiating, or you're even still, how do I say, prospecting, like just talking to explore possibilities, or you're in the closing phase. Your timeline should help you know where you are and what you need to do to move forward in the sales. So can you go slide? Great. So here's some tips to support closing. The first one is start your conversation by sharing what has to happen from your side. So the moment you're done with your pitching and everything, and you guys really you're done with negotiation, you want to move into closing the deal, you need to give them upfront information on what needs to be done from your side and what needs to happen from their side. So from my side, I need to get all the green lights from the marketing people. I need to get all the green lights from my finance team, for us to be able to move into closing this deal officially. I need to get a fitting timeline for this, align with my team and all that. And then they need to also do this from their side. They need to get some, I don't know, yeses from other departments. They need to confirm some other things to you and all that. So second is start your preparation by creating a chart. Apologies again. So start your preparation by creating a chart, identifying all the necessary steps from both the buyer and seller perspectives, which need to happen between initial conversations and implementation of your product or services. So basically, you are creating a sort of map that guides the prospect in the different steps. So it gives them like a very clear perspective. You're not just sharing what needs to happen, but you're sharing it in the order it needs to also happen. All right. So from between the initial conversation to where you actually deliver your product and services, these are the different phases we need to go through. So this will also help you close, because then they will know, okay, yeah, this has happened, this is left to happen. Finally, you should ask the prospect when he or she would like a specific action to happen. I think this will help in closing deals. For example, if you're selling a product, like I'm selling Career Care right now, Career Care is to happen on the 12th, and one of the packages or one of the value propositions we're offering to partners is pre-event promotion. And what happens is that in our onboarding document, we create a marketing timeline for the partner in alignment to Career Care. So for some of them, it's 2 weeks before the event. They get 3 posts before the event. Some of them get 2 posts after the event. So basically, I'm asking them, oh, when would you want us to do your pre-event marketing? When would it align best with you? This is sort of a double-edged tool. One, it's already explaining some of the insights that they get. Two, if they tell you, oh, we would prefer it in August, it shows that they are slowly moving into the closing phase. And then lastly, I added something here. In the event where your product has certain timelines in itself, like it's an event, make sure to share the logic behind the timeline as well, so that they can know what they stand to benefit from sticking to your timeline. But also make room for small concessions. So if your OGTA peak period, sorry, IGTA peak period is this is in a particular month, make sure that you share with them what you can optimize it for them best to get candidates before May and all that. So we can go slide. Yes. So here we're talking about presentation, proposal, and structure. Just before we dive into the sharing space, um, a lot of this we've already seen before. So here is like review. Review is this happens before you actually send any proposal, upfront contract, understanding their pain point, which is need, the budget if they have it, and then if they have the authority to make decisions, and then address any deal with changes. So, for example, what you're offering needs to be a bit tweaked or customized to the particular company. You need to address this. So, these things are what you would go through normally before sending the proposal, because the proposal then needs to be customized. And here, when you're talking about present, so here you're presenting your proposal, your pitch deck, whatever it is, review key issues to be presented. So even if the company wants to get maybe like 2 or 3 of your products or something, make sure that you're putting in front first the one that is really, really solving a lot of their pain. Okay, so how you do that is ask the prospect to prioritize the issues. So they want HRO, they want young people to work in their company. At the same time, they want to get some youthful brand. What exactly is the pain point? Is it that they're just looking for youth intent, or they're actually looking for youth alignment? So I'm not saying GT cannot be a solution, but let them prioritize the issue. So this helps you solve their pain more appropriately, more efficiently. So present each issues, confirm the prospect acceptance. So you want to get youth in your company, we can give you GTA products, and is this okay with you? You also want to get like you want to make your brand youth friendly. We can do this and we can do that. Is this okay with you? So ask for an answer to the prospect's question. If they okay, yeah, if they like have a question you've answered, try to confirm the answer. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. Try to make sure that because they say to you that, oh yeah, you want GTA product, you don't just go ahead and sell GTA product. Make sure that the GTA product is like answering the need that they initially talked about. So you can rephrase the question and make sure they are confirming to you that yes, we want to have vibrant young people within our community to sort of spice up our workplace. Or they're saying, yes, we want to have young people work in our community, but it's because we want to have be a bit more youth friendly. Then you can see that beyond HR, they are also inclined to having employer branding, so you know which is best. And then here talking about closing, talks about prospect temperature. I will explain better in the next slide. Continue presenting if necessary, obtain buying decisions, confirm the decision. So I will explain the closing better in the next slide. Right. I already explained the present. So here, for the closing, here it says measure the prospect's temperature. Um, the thermometer technique is like enables you to determine how close or how far a prospect is from making a positive buying decision. And an example is that you've shared a bit about your product, you've done a bit about the pitching, but you want to just know how they are really vibing with your product. Are they into it? Are they not getting it or anything? So you can ask something like this. I realize we have a few more things to go over, a lot more step by step details and all that. But what we've covered so far, from what we've covered so far, how likely are you to explore this solution? So they can go, oh, well, it sounds great. I think we'll be very interested. Of course, if the budget is something that we can afford, then you tick in your mind, okay, budget. I think we'll be very interested, of course, if it can align with this time and that time, because at this time we're busy. So what this allows you to do is you're seeing that, okay, they're interested. And then if there is any obstacle, you're pinpointing it immediately. So follow up this answer with either more questions, like clearly probing the pain for them. Is it that if there's any but, why are the but, and what can you do about it? Or you need to give more assurance on your solution. So they can go something like, I think well, we're very interested if this product can actually do this and do that. And if your product can do that, then it's an open window for you to go all in and explain a bit more, right? So they can get clarity. So yes, I think start with the most important aspect. We already talked about that. Obtain the prospect verification. I explained that previously. And then the close. Here says people make buying decisions at different times during the presentation. And that's true. Like, this is not just theory. I think this is like very practical. I have customers or partners that made the buying decision from the very first meeting that they want to partner with Isaac, and every other thing. Not like they said it to me, but I could tell from my thermometer technique, right? But every other thing was around the details, the small logistics issue, timeline issue, and all that. So some people need to see or hear one or two aspects of the presentation, and then they can make a decision. Others need to see and hear everything. And the moment you figure out what kind of prospect or person that you have in front of you that wants to go through all the details, then you will also know. For example, QS, which is a lead that we're working together with the regional office, is that they're a kind of company that they want to see all the possible options. So they say, oh, bring the national proposal, or bring the regional proposal, or even if there's a global proposal, they want to see all the options, or bring this proposal and that. Explain this to me before I make a decision. And others, they just see what, like, one or two aspects and they're good, and you can progress from there. Identify who your prospect is. Okay, so I think we're running behind time. Can go slide. So yay, it's working time. Not sure. Okay, I think we still have a couple more minutes uh to work. So we're gonna go into our breakout rooms right now, and we work in pairs. And what we're doing is really simple. Just share your last partnership proposal. No need to go look for the best one or the most interesting one. The last one is fine, can do. Um, and you're going to analyze the proposal of the other MCVP. So if you're India, give your proposal to Vietnam and then exchange the proposals. Basically, just analyze it and see what could be improved based on everything that we've talked about so far, and what is the strength of the proposal, what's the effective thing in the proposal. So yes, then share the main improvement points and what to keep. Yeah. So see you guys in a bit. That went really quickly. So anyone wants to share how it went before we go to the last slide of the session today? So basically, group one, I'm not quite sure who was in what group, so may help.
Let me just pick people out. Victory, you, Kim Su, and Levmin.
Okay, well, in group one, okay. I don't think that we didn't really have time to do much sharing because we had some technical issues pulling up the proposals from our site. But um, yes, from the conversations we had, we just saw a proposal that was really great to Nestle with different very relevant propositions. And then we were saying that the only thing that probably needed to be improved as per what we've learned today, especially in how this proposal can help us close contracts efficiently, is in the understanding pain points and prioritizing, because all of the products may be relevant, but I'm not sure all of them will be relevant at the exact time. So based on Nestle and Nestle's pain point, especially at the moment, it'd be great to prioritize. So yeah, that was it from our end.
Amazing. Group number two, Jika, Krunal, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, Lily.
All right.
Yes.
In our group, we shared my proposal, and I mean, it was nice that we had this particular space. I got to understand from Jika. She shared what all things we can include, or yeah, I mean that was there. But we majorly understood when would this particular proposal would be, appropriate, and how, did we or did we not make changes after the first meeting itself. uh, that was there, and we did not get like enough time to go through the improvements or what could be changed, or whether or not the proposal was effective. But then uh, the entire going through the entire concept and the entire proposal, I think really opened different perspective, especially for me, because uh, Jika shared the current context and whether or not this particular proposal would be appropriate or not. So yeah, thank you for the space.
Thank you. Rule number three, Andy, Tara, and GIA.
I think Andy and Tara can go because just now is me sharing, so I don't know what they learned from the proposal as well.
Maybe I can go. So yeah, same with Colonel. I think we went through the proposal review, but not have time to actually improvement so far and so on. But why I get that Chai actually presenting about her proposal to one of this company that they actually prospecting to be a partners, and I see that is a very it is a very well. Okay. Yeah, it's a very well structured proposal, I think, and the way she packaged it is, how Chai align it the proposal towards the annual report of the company, and then they start to align it and then make the packages of the partnership towards that. I think that's what I got. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, great. All right, so just to wrap up very quickly, post sales. We are done selling. It's a yes. So you need to deliver your contract. Personally, I struggle with this a lot, especially when it was non-operational products. Like for GT, it's like pretty straightforward, right? You're done with selling. They need to fill in the JD form. You need to set up the application. But what if you're selling the national partnerships with different events and touch points and all that, or you're selling digital marketing or something that is not very concrete, like GT? What happens? Contract delivery is important. So what do you do next? I think that for me, I would my very best advice is you need to map out your thoughts in a flow. So try to create some sort of onboarding document for yourself and then include the partner in the thinking process. I think I can share in the Asia Pacific group one of the onboarding documents I created recently for career care. So this is what happened. This is what I sent to the partners immediately after they signed the contract. And this basically takes them through all the pre-event timeline, the event timeline in itself, the post-event timeline, what will happen and all that. So contract delivery is important, and to achieve this, you need to map it out. Because if you don't map it out, you may miss one of the steps that probably you guys talked about during the negotiation and was interesting for the partner. One small detail may just miss. So try to map out everything you need to do from the moment that the contract is signed to when it will effectively end reporting and closing phase of the contract. So referral process is quite important, and whether it is you getting referrals from the company, or the company being able to also leverage on the Isaac platform to get referrals to other Isaac entities. This is something that you guys can include in your conversations and can be valued both ways for you and for the company. So try to. I know a lot of us have not figured out what the ideal referral process can be like, but it can be unique for every company based on the kind of rapport you build to the company. Can be unique for every company, but just try to know that this is an untapped gold mine in Isaac. Get referral from one company to another, or from one Isaac entity to another. It's an untapped Isaac gold mine. For example, like there are a lot of a company has multiple branches in probably different parts. A referral is just something that can help us all as Isaac, or help the company um, more as well. So it's an untapped gold mine. And then lastly, report and upscale.
I think her laptop died if she's not here. Yeah, I can wrap it up. When it comes to report and upskill, I think it's pretty simple because it's basically make sure that you're reporting to them and you're showing to them the results that are there with the partnership. And especially when it comes to like digital engagements, it's very important that you are as detailed as possible. For example, from my experience, I include every single post, screenshot, and insights and all of that, because it's always best to over communicate than under communicate. So yeah, and then you can look into upscaling. And because with the report, it's also going to give you some insights on what things can become better, and based on then you can look into possibilities on upscaling or upselling, because these are the things that happened well in the past. So maybe we can do these things better in the future as well. So maybe with a bigger package, bigger engagements, because these are the things that your partner likes as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Sumi, for stepping in. My laptop crashed. Apologies. I think that was literally the end of the session. At this point, I can take your questions if you have any questions. If not, I think that will be namaste from my side. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Was everything absolutely clear from the beginning to the end? Or you can also take this point to share, even if it's not a question, like a tip that can be useful for everyone to close contracts better. Yay. AP closers.
Usually, you just need to keep follow up. Every 3 days, send them an email and then get them into your MOU sign. That's all. And I think like during the follow up, you can also update our own progress because I think they also need to know how far we progress, so that they are more confident in partnering with us. And I think one of the GCP in Malaysia is we kickstart with a very small partnership engagements first, instead of like a big deal closing. Yeah, so I think it's quite nice. Like a small amount first, and only re-raise from the small amount. Yeah, invite them into one of your conferences, then only you show them. Yeah, basically
I think that works.
what we do in Malaysia is like this. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I think
Actually,
there was a
just sorry,
uh,
sorry, yeah, continue.
okay. I think there was like a scenario I wanted to paint when I was talking about timeline and how it's very effective and very important in closing deals is so with QS, right? We had talked about career care for a bit for a while, but it dawned on me like today that in all this I never mentioned like when they were supposed to confirm by, because I followed up quite a bit and then I got swamped with other companies and they're not responding. And then yesterday I got a mail from them saying, hey, is it too late to participate in career care? So this meant that they were just taking their time because I did not set a time frame for them that we need to have all of this confirmed by this. So if they know they needed to do that, then they will work with that and just try to get in the decisions by that time. So I think timeline is really important. And like we've talked about following up with some of the things that you have progressed on can be a really good confidence booster for them. Yeah. Sumi can go.
Yes, sure. According to the lines of what also GIA was mentioning, actually the partner that we had this morning in the main plenary, it's actually not an official partner yet. So what we are trying to do with this engagement is actually try to reduce their, it's actually going to go on YouTube, but it's okay. I don't think they're going to check this video. But uh, so what we're trying to do with this engagement is actually try to reduce their decision making time because we are giving them a feel of how it would be for them to partner with ISEC. So also this is something that you can use if you have conference slots, and there is possibility for you to have such leads, such strong leads that could potentially be like really big partners. So you can also work on that.
Mm. Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for your input. And I hope that this session was really relevant for you and helped you or will help you to close contracts better. If you have anything, you can always inbox me on WhatsApp. And gracias. Sumi, over to
Super.
you.
Thank you so much, Victory. We have global audio model session already starting in the main plenary. My team is going to kill me, but it's already going on. And also another thing, just a call to action. In 1 hour, we will be having a main plenary session. I will be delivering it. I'm a bit nervous about it, but it's okay. It's on building great partnerships with everyone. So everyone is going to be there, your MCPs, your MCVPs, and the LCPs as well. So what I'm aiming to do through that session is actually provide more support to you through your teams. So make sure that you're attending that as well.